This meeting is now being recorded.
Good afternoon, Derby agents. This is Kevin Shady along with Mike Wagner and the one and only Sherm Henderson. Yep, Sherm's here in the office live at Derby headquarters in our green conference room, and it's always green because we're trying to create a lot of green for everybody, for you, for us, and for our partners. And today we're going to hear from someone that's talked to us a couple of times, but we haven't heard from them since I think it was mid to late May, and that's Todd Binkley and eSuite Media. And it's been a crazy summer for eSuite Media, and we've had a lot of success. And Todd and I are going to double team this presentation a little bit. He's going to tell you where they are and what's been going on, and kind of review some of the reasons why eSuite's a good fit for a mobile app for your business or nonprofit or church or whatever. And then I'm going to kind of share with you some of the information we recently presented to the Southern Baptist Convention's technology group, and you can kind of see what they're up to and how we positioned it with them as well as with the Kentucky Baptist Convention. So, Todd, why don't you get us started?
All right, great. Well, thanks for having me on the call. I do appreciate it. Also, thank you all for taking just a brief moment of your time. I always say I'm not going to be long, but I'm going to be strong, right? And so I know that also those of you that are able to make the call, and those of you that are maybe watching this or listening to this after the fact, I know we got a long holiday weekend coming up here, so I certainly don't blame those of you who are watching this after the fact, right? So anyways, thank you for your time. I do want to talk about eSuite and kind of what we're doing. I know when we started with Derby Agency about a year ago, we brought this product to the table, and it was certainly exciting. And as we got out there, we were kind of breaking new ground and blazing new trails. And with the app market today, it was very much a difficult, about a year ago, it was very difficult to kind of get out there. People didn't really understand why they needed an app. They didn't really understand what the value add was to their organization or to their business. And so over the past year or so, not only has the market become more educated and more up to speed in regards to why they need a mobile app, but they've also become more receptive to listening and hearing as to what an app can do for them. And as Kevin will kind of share with you, we had an opportunity to go down and talk to the GBC, which is the, not the GBC, I'm sorry, but the Southern Baptist Convention, and be able to kind of talk to them about everything that's kind of going on. And we're getting some traction with these apps. I mean, people are becoming, again, they're wanting it, and we'll talk, like I said, a little bit more about that. So let's go ahead and get started. If you guys look at the PowerPoint there, naturally, as the statistics show, people today have a mobile device. I mean, everybody's got a mobile device. If they're like me, I've got, I think, 3 mobile devices. I barely open my laptop anymore, right? And I barely look at my computer. I either have my phone or my tablet in front of me at all times. And because of that, the apps that are on my phone have mind share, right? And what I mean by that is simply the ability to grab my attention prior to anything else. And so when we start talking about apps and we start talking about why an organization needs an app, it's simply because we're putting that organization in front of their target audience. And as you can see by the stats that we've got up here on the slide, 96% of the world's population has got a mobile app. A mobile device. And because of that, they're getting away from standard PCs and laptops. This is the reason why you should take your website stuff that you've got and make a mobile application. Stuff that's relevant information, readily available at the fingertips of your target audience, and that way then you can easily get them to convert into additional sales, or at least informing them about what it is that you provide and the benefits that your organization can bring to them. Also here you're seeing the other stats that's telling you about the number of tablet users versus phone users. Now these stats are a little bit old. I think that they're at least 6 months old. So as we continue to go more and more mobile, these numbers are going to go ahead and favor mobile technology even more so than probably what you're seeing today. And so again, this is the reason why your business, this is the reason why your clients, this is the reason why pretty much anybody you know needs to get into this space. Also, I was having this little bit analogy the other day. I was talking to Allie about it, and I said, I remember back in the late 90s, I was selling computers, compact Presarios, believe it or not, at Radio Shack, and we were selling computers for $2,500 to $3,000, and these are standard desktop home computers. Today, you go and you try to buy a computer, you'll notice that you can get them for as low as $300. So the market has kind of dictated that, look, we can drive the value down on the computer because you can get them anywhere. Now it's all based on price and competitiveness. The same things with websites. You know, websites were very, very hot in the late 90s or early 2000s, and you were spending anywhere between upwards of $10,000 on a website, which you can still do today. But the point is, you can go to oneandone.com today. You can go to GoDaddy.com. You can go to any of these locations, and you can get a website today. I think for like as low as $1 or something ridiculous, $18. The point that I'm making is this, is that apps today are in the same place that websites and computers were in the late 90s and early 2000s. You can sell an app today for $3,000, $200 a month, and nobody really bats an eye because they understand the value. They understand that they're breaking new ground. They understand that they're putting themselves in front of their most loyal customers 24/7, 24/7. And because of that, now they've got more exposure and they're getting more traction. People aren't going to the web anymore. They're going to their mobile devices. They're browsing the web on their mobile devices, but if your website's not mobile friendly, why are you going to invest the money back into a mobile-friendly site when you can invest the money into an app and be readily available to your customers? And so what I'm telling you is this, is that the market is right. Organizations are wanting to do it. They just need to be a little bit more educated. And the money-making potential is unbelievable. And so, again, don't miss the opportunity. Don't wonder, another 10 years from now, why, the same reason why you thought, man, I wish I would have thought about the dot-com boom. Why didn't I get involved in that? Well, this is the app boom, and so you really got to think about getting involved in this while it's hot. Otherwise, it will get to the point where apps, you can get them for $50, right? And you're going to miss that opportunity again. Even if you look at it as purely nothing more than a money-making opportunity and it's not a long-term goal for you or long-term play for your business, it certainly is a way to generate revenue for your business immediately and add additional income to the bottom line. Now, the next slide that Kevin's going to show you is in 2005, is that right, Kevin?
Yes.
In 2005, this is when they were, they're doing the whole Pope thing, right? And so you can see here in this same picture, and then you fast forward to 2013, you can see the difference in the technology and what's happened over a period of, 7 years, right? 8 years. 8 years. You can see from 2013, now look at the exact same picture and look how everybody's using mobile devices. It's obvious that the technology is in demand. It's obvious that they want to use it. It's obvious that, your business needs to be in front of them. So I'm not quite sure I understand why businesses and even your organization isn't taking full opportunity to be able to do this. So even with your organization, if you don't have an app today, you should have one. We're in the process of developing an app for ComCore. You would have asked me a while ago, why would ComCore Hosted IP Solutions need an app? Well, agents are on the go all the time, right? They're on the go. They're not going to be in front of a computer. They don't want to go and back to a website and be able to do a quote. Well, we've developed a 2-minute or less quick estimate tool that's built right into the app. Now an agent can give an estimate literally in an elevator in the amount of time that it takes to go from one floor, up 10 floors, be able to give an estimate of exactly what the service costs are going to be because that's convenient. And you're making it easy for people to sell. You're making it easy for your customers to receive. And so that is why your organization, why your company needs one as well. So anyways, I think the next slide I'm going to hand it over to Kevin. He's going to kind of help us because we double-teamed the Southern Baptist Convention, and he's got some other stuff he wants to share with you as well.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Todd. And what I shared with the State Technology Group of the Southern Baptist was how churches are actually reaching in and taking advantage of mobile apps. And you see a few of them there with Cornerstone Harvest Church, and, of course, the centerpiece being the Kentucky Baptist Convention. And I just kind of shared with them what the KBC was looking to do with the app. So I would share that with you guys too, and you can understand how they're putting their apps together and what they're thinking about. And at the end of the day, the main question that your client needs to answer, or questions, is, why do they want an app? As far as, like Todd's saying, to be able to reach and market your loyal customers and even market to potentially new customers. But what are you wanting to do with them? Are you wanting to do just promotional type activity? Are you wanting to do informational activity? At the end of the day, if I'm the user of your mobile app, what am I doing with it, and why is it on my phone? Because if you're not giving me something that I want, it doesn't really matter what the business or the church or the association or anything else has to deal with there. You've got to take care of your users. And in this instance, what the KBC is doing are direct links to their news from their website. Those are RSF feeds, showing all the ministries that they have to offer, connections to their social media sites. And yeah, you could go to Facebook and type in Kentucky Baptist Convention, but why make them go to all those type of steps? Why not just put them right in there where they can go to Facebook or LinkedIn or Twitter or YouTube or even Google+, and then give them an easy way to share that app as well. So with Tell a Friend, they can send out links to download the app through text messaging, through the social media sites, or even through email. So those are some of the functions that the KBC had, but specifically, they wanted to be able to do a church search. And they wanted to be able to have all their staff, all their church members be able to find the church that's nearest them. So we customized a function for them called Church Search. And you see the list in Near Me in Details to the right of the initial screen. And you're able to see a listing of all the churches that are close to you. And you can see them in listing form. Or if you want to see it on a map version, you can take Find Churches Near Me. And you get more of an overlay over a Google map that we're integrating with. And you click on any one of those, and you see in here, you see the basic details, which is the address. But then you can click on it to get the church details in terms of directions and step-by-step instructions on how to get there. And that's something that other associations are looking to do. And the Georgia Baptist Convention is now in development and should be live here within the next 2 to 3 weeks. Additional features and benefits that churches like the Northeast Christian Church here in town in Louisville that's getting ready to go into development, and St. Margaret Mary's, Trinity High School, some of those folks that are doing mobile apps. We call it a church ATM, an automated tithing machine. One of the continuous issues and struggles facing churches today is raising funds and getting their members to tithe, especially among the younger generation, the Generation X and the 20 and 30-year-olds. And what we're finding is that if you can put the ability for these groups of members to donate and tithe in the manner that they're used to doing and that they're more prevalent to, they don't write checks. My sons probably don't even know how to fill out a check. I don't think they've ever seen a checkbook. But they know how to use their credit card. Believe me, they know how to use their credit card. And, that's the thing with these kids these days, that they want to be able to do that. Hold on, I just moved up my slide. And so what they're doing, what we found is that, the average church gift that's given, the average church gift increases to $175 per gift, which is 20% over the norm when you allow them to provide a gift electronically, either through your website or through a mobile app or something of the sorts. And 27% of these givers it's the first time that they ever gave to their church. And what you're doing is you're putting it into a means and a method with which they're comfortable, with which they use today, and you're making it immediate. And talk about immediate, we're talking about push messaging, geo-targeting, geo-fencing. So you can send messages out immediately from the pastor about today's service. Or you could put a geo-fence in front of Shelbyville Road or Brownsboro Road, like the Northeast Christian Church is going to do that they're off of. And as one of your members that have the have the app on their phone, they'll get a push message saying, hey, don't forget about X. Don't forget we're having Pete Rose here to talk about to our church members on Father's Day. You know, don't forget about the other events that we got going on. Don't forget about the different missions and help that people need out there. And it can continue to send that information. And, of course, you've got the general information, things like church directories, where you can get the staffs, church services, other online services of streaming video of the service or video replay or audio services, and other member-type supports, you know. So there's all different types of features and benefits just from a church's perspective that you can bring to the table. And just to zero in a little bit more on e-giving. So now, someone like Cornerstone Harvest Church, I can give directly from my mobile app. So when there's an event that occurs, you know, a tragedy that's going on that they want to try and raise funds for, like Katrina, you know, or any of the other hurricanes or tornadoes that occur, or any other type of natural disaster, the earthquake out in California recently, they can raise funds right then and there and just blast out a message saying, go to your e-giving site and donate, you know, and it can be a one-time transaction or it can be an ongoing transaction, however you want it to do. But at the end of the day, it's allowing that member to provide that service so that they can do it in the function that they're used to and wanting to do. And, of course, as Todd mentioned, it's all one simple, affordable price, $3,000 for a one-time design fee and $200 monthly, and the agent gets 20% of that. So you get an awesome deal, you're providing an awesome service to your client or association, and you're allowing them to step up and step into the 21st century marketing that we're all using today and get them ahead of the curve. So that's what we shared with the KBC and with the Southern Baptist Technology Group. And from that, immediately I had a call from the Georgia Baptist Convention, and their app is up, or not up, but they're in development and moving forward. And like I said, should be live within the next 2 to 3 weeks, if not sooner. So with that, Todd, what else you got?
No, I just encourage you guys that if there's any opportunities, or if your organization, or you're trying to understand how this would work within your company, just to give us a call. I mean, I'd like the opportunity to be able to sit down with you a little bit more, explain to you a little bit more about what it is that we do, how we do it, and what the true benefits of it are. Again, not about features, but more about driving value, not only for yourself, but for your clients, and also for your internal teams. Again, I think that this is an ideal solution. It's an ideal service that can really benefit multiple areas of your business. And certainly, the value will certainly outweigh any kind of cost, whether that's a hard cost or even just a resource cost. It will certainly provide value. So I challenge each one of you to reach out to us and give us an opportunity to talk to you about how we can help you.
Let me add to that as well, is that Todd and his team are very adept and willing to customize the applications where needed. And, you know, I see Andrew Meltzer on the line here with us, and he's got a customer, Coastal Comfort, that's doing some significant customization that will lead with their app, as well as with, say, an order processing / customer management system that's really changing the way that they're going to be doing business. We've done integration with Impelazaries, with their NCR POS mobile pay system, allowing their clients and customers to pay at the table and to alert and add to their order right from their phone, and pay and check out right from their phone without having to wait for their waiter or waitress to bring the ticket and to go through that payment process, which I tested that out, and it knocked about 14 minutes off of a 44-minute lunch. Had I had the place where I was showing them the mobile app, if they had integrated with their NCR mobile pay, they would have knocked off almost a third of my time for my lunch. And that, what that means to me as a user is a lot of easeability, making it easy for me to pay and check out and get out of there, which I appreciate, because what's the first thing you want to do when you're ready to pay is get out of Dodge, right? You want to get going and get on with things. Why drag that out for an additional 14, 15 minutes if I can do it in a matter of seconds? And then what it means to the restaurant is faster table turns, and that's what they're interested in. So it's a win-win for everybody, and that's the kind of customization that they're looking at. St. Margaret Mary's here in town is doing customization with their website as well as some online type of activities that they've got going on. Trinity High School has done customization within their mobile app. And the Georgia Baptist Convention is going to have a similar church search function in there as well. And it just goes on and on and on. I could talk about the dental exchange. I could talk about numerous clients that are already moving forward with their mobile apps. And guys, you need to jump on this because their app, it's a sweet percentage for you. You just got to get out there and drive it. And there's not a whole lot you have to do once you open the doors. You open the doors, and Todd and his team take it from there. So, do we have any questions out there? Okay, Mike, you got anything to add?
I have a question. This is Andrew Meltzer.
Okay, great.
Do we have some referenceable churches at this point then?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. I would appreciate that if we could dialogue that, maybe sidebar it, because I have quite a few community churches in my lead list. I used to be the chairman for a children's charity that served churches, and the faith-based leaders took my guidance, and I held workshops there. So I could very well open those doors again and use that mobile app to do that.
Well, that's a great great question. Thanks, Andrew. And, we've got the Baptists covered. We've got Catholics covered. We've got the Christian churches covered. And soon we may even have the Presbyterians covered. So we've got some flexibility there across numerous congregations, too, for you.
Great.
Mike?
Andrew, you ought to download a couple of those apps just to your phone just to play with. You can get a feel for it real easy. It's real simple. You get a feel for how easy it is to share it, how easy it is to navigate through it, and see how they're using it. Just go out to Apple or Android and get it down and download it.
Yeah, and if you need a link for that, just let me know and I can send that to you too.
Yeah, that would be appreciated if you could. Just do it, and then I'll also pull down a couple apps. And I guess the other question for you is, are you currently formulating or have you already formulated a case study with any of these churches showing how their tip rate has increased with the advent of the mobile app?
We haven't done that yet, but that is actually a very good idea, and we will do that very quickly. I know, Todd, at least I don't think you've done anything like that yet, right?
Well, there's certainly not a case study for the app itself, but there is a case study for mobile giving. As Kevin was originally stating, those stats just a little while ago about the average ticket of being $175, and 27% of the individuals giving for the first time were based on the ability to be able to give via a mobile device. So if that kind of gives you any kind of indication on what it's doing for the church, that's the only really measurable I think you can get from an app for a church. Now, there's other benefits that each church sees different, right? Being able to communicate with connection groups or small groups, being able to effectively communicate with your volunteer sign-up, registration forms online, being able for your members to be able to sign up for a picnic they're going to. It's the convenience factor, because the biggest thing with the church is simply the ability to be able to communicate effectively on a large scale, and what better way to be able to communicate with your members than on the device that they carry with them 24/7 without having to physically call them. And so the only real measurable, though, I think, that you're going to get any kind of hard stats on a case study is going to be on the giving, and those have certainly been done.
Yeah, so I just have a couple more inputs for you with working with churches. At least this has been my experience. A lot of them are getting very savvy, and they're looking towards tying people to the church where it's perpetual. It's every day there's a sermon. So they're recording their sermons and then casting them out making them downloadable throughout the week, so you can get your fix all week long now. Are you doing anything with that? And would your app enable an objective that a church might have?
We're already doing that, and one of the apps that Kevin will send you has that built in. It certainly does. Matter of fact, the Cornerstone app, what they do is they record their services. When they record their services, they archive them, and when they archive them, they automatically publish them inside the app, so you can view the last 2 services at any time inside the app, and you can also watch service live as it's going on directly through the app as well.
That's exciting and consistent with what I've been told the churches are looking for. And then lastly, because it was something, an initiative that I did, a lot of the churches participate in search and rescue. So my children's charity, when a child would become missing, the church was very often called to action to assemble a volunteer committee to find a child, a missing child or a missing person. So does your app allow for, let's say, a mass alert so that anybody who's opted in to be part of that alert could get that message?
Well, that's a little bit different, right? So it would utilize the push notification technology, for one.
Yes.
And so we are not at the point, as of this point today, to be able to provide what's known as metadata or segmented lists for groups. So that's one of the things that we're certainly going down the road on, is the ability to be able to say, look, I got the sound department, I've got the children's ministry, I've got the praise and worship team, I've got this, or I've got this particular, or I've got the search and rescue, where I want to be able to send a notification specifically to those individuals in that group. We are going down that road. However, it's just we're not there yet, and you'll find that a lot of the apps out there today don't have that functionality unless it's a highly customized app. And so I would say that we'll have something like that. It'll just probably be a good 6 months down the road prior to getting there.
But, Todd, you would have the ability to send a push message out to all of the users that have downloaded the app, so you could rally the troops that way, right?
You could, yep, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm just thinking not just the search and rescue, but most of the churches have very active volunteer committees to do various things in the community. And it would be nice to be able to streamline that process and avoid the necessity of having to call volunteers directly. If you could put them on notice and get them, get a confirmation somehow so that it goes out and they can confirm their availability and interest, all, within seconds. That's an interesting aspect of an app that I think churches would really like.
No, you're absolutely right, and we have certainly had those discussions, and it's not only with churches, but it's also with schools as well. I mean, schools want that same ability per grades, per athletic departments, per whatever. It's so we have certainly went down that road, and we're taking the necessary steps to get us to the next level.
Okay. Well, thank you, Todd.
No problem.
All right, Todd, any last thoughts?
Nope, I'm good. I just hope that we have the opportunity to hear from some of the agents.
Me too, and guys, we really are seeing a lot of traction with eSuite. We've learned a lot this year, and we've got several apps, like I said, that are in development, and many that have already been published and are in use by our clients, and it's just going to continue to grow and take off. And before I cut out of here, I just want to say a couple of things. One, next week we're going to be having ComCore as our featured solutions partner, and that's appropriate since it's the final Thursday before the upcoming Channel Partner Show or Cloud Partner Show in New Orleans, September 8th through the 10th. So we're going to lead into the show with ComCore and their Ringbox and hosted IP solutions that are out there for you to market to your clients. And, of course, I couldn't let us leave without hearing a little bit from Sherm, since I've got him here, and it's a luxury we haven't had recently. And, Sherm, you got anything you want to share with the group?
Sure. It's great to hear your voice, Andrew, and also you, Todd, and love hearing those questions, and it's great to be back. I'm going to use the new expression, 80% of life is showing up, and 90% is getting back into life. So I think that kind of tags me a little bit. But anyway, a couple things that I think were very significant in eSuite is I did keep up through that over the last couple of months, and I remember Todd and Kevin going to New Orleans, and I thought the reason that they went to New Orleans, I might not be 100% accurate, was to meet with the Kentucky Baptist Association. And out of that came a connection with the Georgia Baptist Association, I believe. And you know what happened as soon as Kentucky was sold into it, Georgia jumped on, and I know we got a couple folks on this call from Georgia, sweet Georgia on my mind, and I liked how quick that moved. That one moved extremely quick, and it is a little niche that sometimes none of us would think about. Why would a church want to have an app? And you know, every time I turn around, why would a hospital want to have an app? There's a million reasons a hospital would love to have an app. I asked some of those questions while I spent time in 3 different hospitals. And, you know, I think about the opportunities that we all have out here, and it's all about new products, it's all about new discoveries, and it's all about change. You know, who would ever think, while we're sitting here today, that Burger King, home of the wonderful Whopper, would buy a coffee chain from Canada and called Tim Hortons, which I've been in a number of those when I went to Canada on a couple of the world tours that I did. And I think back, who would ever think about that? And, you know, I think that everybody that's on this call, and I don't know everybody because there's some telephone numbers up here, I don't know if you realize that the new management team inside of Burger King, the average age of the C's, that's the CEO, the CTO, and the CFO, and I think the CMO, 4 of them, is 30 years old. That's the average age of them. And, you know, young people are using a lot of the tools that we have today. I have had a lot of follow-up from the place I've been the last 2 months, and a lot of it's been electronically, a lot of it's been by social media, a lot of questionnaires. So we are definitely in the right spot at the right time. So I do hope everybody will kick in. I hope everybody get on the Concord call next week. I'll sure be on it. And just remember, football season starts tonight at 6 o'clock with those. And we got somebody on here from South Carolina, I think, or love South Carolina. So we got the Gamecocks playing the Texas A&M Aggies. That'll be fun. And it's a heat wave up here and everywhere. But I'd love for you guys to start calling me again. I'm back in the loop. I'm not quite out in the field as much, but I am on voice. So thanks, Kevin, and thanks, everybody, for all the prayers.
Thanks a lot, Sherman. So we're going to close this up, and we're going to try and keep these calls to, you know, a half an hour, 40 minutes tops, because we know how valuable this is of your part of your selling day. So we're going to try and keep these presentations quick and to the point, and get everybody in and out. And, of course, as always, they're recorded, and they'll be on the Derby Agency channel on YouTube sometime tomorrow afternoon. You can go back and replay it and listen or see some of the slides. And if you ever want any of the presentations, just give me a shout, and I'll forward those to you as well. So I appreciate you guys taking time out of your day. And don't forget to get that Derby Agency mobile app. Yes, we have one too, and I'm sure you all have it, right? Thanks, everyone. Talk to you later. See you next week.